welcome to KIllco. I am Brian, and boy, am I tired. Oh wait, no, what's the old joke? I flew into town, my wings are tired, my arms are tired. It's a terrible joke. It's 6 o'clock, which is the time I've switched this to, because 5:30 seemed too early. And this gives me about 2 hours to do whatever I want, and I don't get in anyone else's way, I don't think. I think there are a few other streams going on Friday nights. Friday nights are busy for streamers for some reason. But tonight is all about drinking whiskey. Actually, specifically finishing this bottle, hopefully. I can't tell if this is too much or just the right amount because of this little thing in the bottom here. It's a little nerve-wracking. That's all right. All in all, doesn't matter. Oh. Fun little cork sound. I reviewed this a while ago. I don't remember exactly what it tastes like. So I guess there's some pour on the camera. There we go. This is going to be much more than I thought it was going to be. Oh, wait, no. That's about right. Yeah. Been putting off killing this bottle for I don't know how long. It's been a hot minute, to say the least. But I'm certainly looking forward to not having to worry about it anymore because that's been really low for a really long time. Unfortunately. I got some on my desk. Of course I did. Let's see if I can remember how to do this. God, that cork is weird. I don't think I can get a flag for this. Cheers, JJ. Welcome. Welcome to the chaos that is Fridays. We've made it through another week. So here we are. I've made too many videos this week. I'm reminding myself I have to make one more later, and I'm still trying to figure out what it's going to be. It's kind of a toss-up at the moment, but we'll see. I think one of the hardest things about being a streamer who's doing live video is I want to look down here at what I'm doing when I should be looking up there at the people who are watching. It's confusing. I don't know how other people do it, but I have to get used to doing it. Look into my eyes. No, don't do that. It's a mistake. I also don't know about if I should compare this to anything or just give myself an excuse to pour other drinks. That's really all this is about. I'm giving other people an excuse to start drinking early because it's going to be a long night, as far as I can tell. I'm trying to think who else is streaming tonight. I know ADHD Whiskey is, but that's much later in the evening, and he goes on for at least 2 hours. Probably more. Ouch. Oddly enough, I smelled oak out of that. All right. I mean, the thing is, I have plenty of, gosh, let me fix my chair. I have plenty of whiskey, but unlike other channels, I have no actual income. So I can't buy bottles every week like other people can. Is Trev 8? I think that's why I started at 6, because Trev comes on at 8 and then ADH at 10. If you can't tell, this is a new chair. It's like a gaming chair. It also messes up my deals here. I still like to have it covered. The old one is still here, and that thing is ancient. And it's not exactly good for my posture. But there we go. I try to sit in that way where I'm in front of the mic and slightly off center, and people can see the whiskey and the Star Trek and the stuff. I have lots of stuff, to be clear. But here we are, once more. I hope your week went well. Mine went snow. That's the main thought of the moment is I had to dig myself out of the snow yesterday. That was exciting. I think we've all, well, no, we haven't all been there. Most of you have probably been there. I can't tell if the taste smells different. I know I liked how the tub smelled the first time, but now it smells very oak forward, which is weird. I don't know. Seems to taste fine, kind of. Wow. I forgot it was 50% or 100 proof. Ah. I'm awake now. I'm going to go over the flavors of it. Because I've reviewed it already. I say it tastes slightly oaky, a little sweet, a little caramel. What else? I dig it. I was kind of finding an excuse to do many pours tonight, but I don't know if that's a good idea. Because I have to be functional to do a review later. I may finish off this Redbreast 21 that you sent because I haven't. Yeah, you live in Florida, though. I mean, it's a thing. Now, we definitely got 7.5 inches of snow. Not yesterday, but part of yesterday and part of the day before. It showed up overnight. It made it so my car was buried. I had to unbury it, sort of. And now it's all just sitting out there, being in the way. The roads are clear, though. That's the important part. And I never lost power or anything. That's the other important part. Is that I am fortunate that I can even stream right now, because part of me wasn't sure I'm going to be able to because of this freaking snowstorm that happened to show up. First one in a while. But the real problem with this area is as soon as the snow shows up and it gets cold again, everything just turns to rock hard ice. And that's it. So it's no longer just snow. It's just ice patches and in the way and slippery. And it makes everything very, very dangerous. But I only went out once today to get some coffee. And that was it. That's the other thing I have to be careful of. I have not eaten much today. I had a muffin. That's it. It was fine. But yeah. The dangers of dealing with someone with mental health is not very good at taking care of themselves sometimes. I've been particularly bad this past month. I don't know. I've been able to put the videos out. That's the main thing I wanted to do. So that's at least done. But oh gosh, everything else has been sleep and occasional eating. It's exciting. So I'm doing exactly what the pause person says, or the governor of Rhode Island says. We're still in the pause until the 20th. So that's what, 2 more days until the weekend's over. Then we'll see, because the holiday is coming up. It's very exciting. I gotta say, we're still in weird times. I have plenty of whiskey to drink, though, which is the beneficial part to me. We got the Andalusia glass today. Don't know if you can see that. Probably can't. I'm trying to figure out what this weird smell is in this. Uh-oh. I'm gonna be careful with the bullet rye. Be careful with pouring. Like, I poured out that bottle, and I honestly wasn't sure if it was going to go to the place that I know is like the 1.5, 2 ounces, or if it was going to go far over that, which would be close to 3, and that's dangerous and unhealthy. But part of doing a drink stream is to drink, so that's what I'm doing. Having a decent pour in that finished the bottle. I got the Hum It's Raining Men, for those of you who don't know why. There's a reason, I promise. It's an internet thing, I think, is the best way to put it. It's the nicest way to put it. I feel like I should have bought more glassware in case I want to drink something else at the same time, because comparisons are things I can do. Really, I'm thinking of doing a sample of some sort. I don't know if I should do that now or later. I still have yet to figure out if I want to do samples as reviews, because I'm certainly glad to get samples, but you know, it's weird. It's a credibility thing, as I said last time. I don't know what it is, and I can only hope the person who sent it definitely was not a weirdo. So far, none have been. JJ sent in the last one. You were awesome. And they have been, the first one I've had at least was glorious. The Red Breast 21, that was crazy. Which is why I'm thinking of finishing it. As you can see, I only poured about half, give or take, for the flight I did last week. Was that last week? Time is weird for me. It seems like it wasn't that long ago, but I don't know when. I don't remember. But that was a good excuse to drink a lot of Irish whiskey, thankfully. I should do that again someday, but as I said, that was mostly because I had all those whiskeys at the same time, which I don't know when that'll happen again. I think I did show that other whiskey I got, which I haven't opened yet. I could do that tomorrow, but I won't. I'm trying to think how I'm going to get back into doing normal videos, because doing one every day has been interesting, but chaotic. Drink it. It's the idea. It's mainly the price of the damn thing that throws me off so weird. It's just, I know I probably will never be able to try Red Breast 21 again unless I feel like spending probably a good amount of money at a bar, a whiskey bar or something, because that would be the only place I can think I would get it offhand. Still trying to figure out what's in the smell of this. Wish I was better at describing things, but other than it being a typical bourbon or smelling of oak and a little bit of brown sugar, I suppose, but there's a thread of something running through it, and I can't figure out what it is. I think it's just an alcohol smell. Oh, nice. Well, you don't have to, but I will certainly appreciate it. It's kind of what's keeping me going this year, or at least the end of this year, is being donated so many mini sample bottles and being able to review all of them. Because honestly, I hadn't figured out what I was going to do, because I have more than 24 whiskey bottles, certainly, but I reviewed all of them, and a good amount of them are near empty. This one. That one needs to die at some point soon. Sorry for the clink clanky noises. But there are a lot of bottles over there that I just need to finish off. But I think I have to finish them off in the safest yet not safest way would be to do them in some kind of cocktail. But I don't even know what I'd make. And that's because then I can't tell how much alcohol is in the drink, unfortunately. Like this one, I can tell it's just a decent pour. It is very oak forward. That's weird. Or tanniny or whatever that is. I don't remember that being like that before, but as I said, it's been sitting there at that much for well over a month, probably more than that. It's good, but I also know I can get, for $25, I can get a regular bottle of Wild Turkey 101, which seems to be my go-to. Even with the one I have, which I think I had on last week or the week before. We're working our way through that pretty quick. Bought that, 2 weeks ago? It's one of my favorite things to have. To give people a preview of what's coming up, since I'm pretty much out of minis, at least until hopefully Tuesday, when I may get more. Hopefully. Let's see, that gives me tomorrow. So 19, 20, 21, 22. So I got 4. So what I might do, which will be a back-to-back kind of thing, but it's something I have and I haven't bothered to finish. An orangey. I got 4 of them in there. Here's the kicker, though. They're not normal size, and I actually did a review of all 4 of these quite a while ago. You can see I barely touched them. Those are nice. They're fancy. And though I could do another flight at some point, which I might do, I could also just review these separately, because I don't think I ever did that. I think I just did one really long video at some point a year ago. So that'll give me something to review for the next 4 days at least. And then we have this one over here. It's just been staring at me the whole time. It's a little Blanton's, which I've never had yet. We will see. We'll see what I figure out. I should be getting more samples on Tuesday. That's why we're talking Tuesday. But again, with the current shipping and handling thing going on, packages and holidays and delays and all that kind of thing, we don't really know where we're going to get anything. Did you do a review on one of those? I can't keep up. But yes, I like them all as well. They were all really good for varying reasons. Much like with the, was it the Glenlivet? No. Oof. The Balvenie box. I know I like the Caribbean cask that they did. But I also like the one from Glenlivet. They had a Caribbean cask as well. That was pretty good. I think it's funny that I always seem to end up drinking more scotches during December, when throughout most of the year, I think I've stuck with bourbons and Irish mostly. I haven't checked, honestly, so I don't know exactly what I've reviewed over the past year-ish, but it's been on and off, up and down, but I feel like it was probably a good amount of Irish and a good amount of bourbons. Because I have a lot of scotch. If you look, this whole upper area is scotch. And then you have the peated stuff and the fancy stuff in the back. Oh, you know what I wanted to do? I just remembered. Because of the Try channel, which is another, I don't know if I want to call it a review channel, but they try things. That's their deal. And they did they had a bunch of Game of Thrones whiskeys, which I thought was a great idea and something I'd want to do at some point, because I have at least three, maybe 4. And they're all very different. So that would be an interesting reason for just to have a bunch of them all at the same time. Oh, Talisker 10. I'm trying to remember if I had a Talisker or not. This is why I make videos. I don't remember what I've had. I've just had a lot of whiskey. But I always forget. Which is why I get to re-review stuff too, because it's a whole different time. And again, as I've said on many videos, and probably many of you know, whiskey tasting has a lot to do with just your mood. Like if you're in a good mood when you drink whiskey, you're going to enjoy it more. And that's part of why I do this, because I certainly feel like I enjoy whiskey more when I am with other YouTube people who are watching and having a time, and we're all just, hanging out. Kind of VPub-ish, but not really. I mean, that's Roy's thing, and he does an amazing job with that. It has much more wood forward than I remember it. Whatever. It's still pretty good. Not as sweet either. That's weird. Or unexpected. It's unexpected. And it still burns going down. Wow. Oh. Yeah, I'm pretty much giving other people the excuse to start drinking early on a Friday. Hopefully they don't overdo it, because it's going to be a long night if they do. I haven't been awake for most of the day, as usual. My seasonal mental problems are getting the best of me, to say the least. Like, I think I slept till, I was on and off awake today, numerous times. I miss Leslie too. She's still on Instagram though, but she's in New Zealand, last I heard. So she's fine, but she is no longer able to do Try stuff because she's somewhere else. And even if she wanted to go back, which I don't think she does, good luck. Good luck getting anywhere right now. It's just not a thing. So I do follow most of the try people who I like on the Instagram and other places, just because I feel like they speak to my heritage, I guess, with the Irish roots that I seem to have. Never been to Ireland, want to go, really like Irish whiskey, so unsurprised there. But that's the one kicker is I don't know if I'd be able to deal with not being able to get my hand on bourbons if I lived somewhere else. That'd be weird. Even now, just getting your hand on bourbons is kind of difficult. But thankfully, I like most things. But it's certainly a mood type thing, as I was saying earlier. The type of drink you like, the type of mood you're in kind of dictates that. Now, the bottle lottery. I have it. I can do that now, though. I can do two things at once. They probably sent me an email or something, but again, I'm not functional right now. At least not like I should be. The thing I often see is the 12 days of wine and spirits. Let me go to the main page, I suppose. Ooh, employment opportunities. Ooh. Gift cards, package post blog, employment careers, blah, 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 blah. It's funny that they don't have anything on their site for that. They would. Oh, wait, there it is. Zipped by almost. Let's see what this is. 2020 whiskey raffle. Huh. $5. Oh, look at that. Oh, God. I've never actually done a raffle because, for the most part, even if I won the raffle, I couldn't afford the bottle. So that's the only reason I'm not doing it, I think. It's nice to be able to do it. As many tickets as you like. Samuel Ammons and Greg Foundation. Restaurant Strong Fund. Oh, that's good. Quite a lot of offerings too, so that's also nice. Where the hell do they get some of this stuff? We have Old Rip Van Winkle 10-year, Van Winkle Family Reserve Rye, Pappy 12-year, George T. Stagg, Barrel Bourbon New Year's, Barrel Bourbon 15-year, Barrel Bourbon America. Oh wait, sorry, Armada. My mistake. Can't read. Hakushu 12-year, Yamazaki 12-year, Thomas Handy, Hibiki Harmony. Hibiki Harmony. I already have one of those. Little Book 4, Maker's Mark Wood Finish Series, Rock Hill Farms. Just win it. Just win it. That's very nice of you. I don't know. Rock Hill Farm. I lost my place. Handy and Schiller Old Fashioned. Handy and Schiller Manhattan. Oh, some cheaper stuff in here. High and Wicked 12-year. Larceny Barrel Proof. Hey, Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. Whoa. Willow Fill Proof. Willow 12-year. Elmer T. Lee. Stag Jr. Nika from the Barrel. I have one of those too. Cardew Crossing. Horizon Sazerac Edition. Willet 4-year rye and Willet 6-year. And more as allocated whiskeys come in. Huh. Chance to purchase a bottle of exclusive and highly allocated whiskey. You know what? That's kind of messed up. Raffles are weird. I mean, the fact of the matter is I do have at least 2 of those. I think I have 2 of those, which have just been sitting on their shelves, so I didn't need to raffle. But I know a bunch of those, like Pappy and maybe even the Barrel Bourbon and all that kind of stuff. There are plenty of things here that I don't think are on the shelf normally. Yeah. Yeah, I guess they are hiding them behind the shelf for some of them, but I know a lot of these are out and about, at least at the store I go to. So that's surprising that they're putting them on here as if they were not available. but they were expensive. Like the Nika from the barrel is at least $60 to $70. And what's the other one? There was a Japanese one, Hibiki Harmony. That was pretty expensive too the last time I checked. But there are a few on here that I don't remember seeing. Like I don't remember seeing anything Weller at the store or Stag. So, it's a nice thought, but I don't have the money to do it. I don't even have the money for the raffle, let alone to win it. Like if I did win, that's why this little thing is going across the bottom here. Because again, it's true that the donations that are made to me help the channel and just help me get by, honestly. That's the huge difference between my channel and most other channels is they have some semblance of normalcy and some kind of stability. I have dumb luck mostly. Nope. Ooh. Cornerstone rye. I found out I like rye, so that's good. Ugh. This is woodier than I remember. Like I said, good grief. Habada. I'm going to check what the app says because I seem to get a lot of barrel tannin and that kind of thing out of it. It's weirding me out. Like I said before, I don't remember having that. Maybe Old Tub just doesn't like being exposed to the air. Surprise me. There we go. Old Tub straight bourbon bottled and bond. I don't know. Other people got crazy weird stuff. So it's not just me. I still think I reviewed this, but I don't remember. As always, it does help me to have words in front of me rather than just saying wood and bitter. But with this, it has walnuts, milk chocolate, butterscotch, bran, nutmeg, almonds, rye, hazelnuts, and brown sugar. And that's just on the smell. Rye. Does this have rye in it? Oh, I need to know. God damn it. I assume it doesn't, but I don't know for sure. Well, I don't try to promote myself as a learning channel because I'm always just learning as I go. Old Tub mash bill. See if it tells me. Wouldn't be surprised if it did have freaking rye in it. Oh, it does, a small amount, supposedly. Again, we're going off the first thing I saw when I did a search on Google, so that's always accurate. It says the mash bill for Old Tub Bottle and Bond. Is this Bottle and Bond? I forget. No, it's straight. It's different. You almost tricked me. Although I wouldn't be surprised if it's almost exactly the same. Ugh, that one says it doesn't like my ad blocker. Screw you. Oh, look, it's that Total Wine. What a surprise. Got Casey at the back stuck in my head. What the heck? I don't want a review. I just want to know what the mash bill is. There we go. No, this is Bottled and Bond again. Why? I'm getting confused. What is Bottled and Bond? Good. Okay. Except it says Bottled and Bond at the top here in the tiny writing. I wonder, I wasn't certain. I just saw straight. So let's see. That means it's mostly corn, 75% corn, 13% rye, and 12% barley. Oh, there's trouble. Welcome, welcome. We're hanging out having drinks. We just bottled down this old tub. Bottled and bond, apparently. Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. And it tastes a lot more wood forward than I remember it. Flavor on this. Nutty? Ow. I'd say it's peppery. Spicy. Ugh. Ooh. Don't worry, Trev. I don't know how to do raffles yet. It's okay. You don't have to worry about that. Nutty butterscotch, hazelnut, cereal, nutmeg, oak. Definitely oak. Cinnamon and prunes? Someone got prunes on the flavor profile? That's different. My tongue is all dry. Oh, Stanley Wagner, the legend. I'm getting by, Stanley. We've gotten through another week, so that's that. And doing the advent calendar definitely did help. Although it was rough sometimes because I often feel like I don't know what I'm doing. And I don't have a very complicated palate. But getting to try new things is always nice. Especially scotches. I haven't tried half as many scotches as I thought I had. And with all the ones you sent, I have definitely found that I enjoy certain types. Or at least interesting types. I still get that funk. Which I'm going to assume is malt funk. For whatever reason. And I think part of the funny thing about the peated scotches is you're not going to be able to tell there's a funk on a peated scotch. If you are, well, I mean, I can't tell. If I ever pour a peated scotch, it's just peat and scotch and tar and brine and salt and all those good things. But can't tell there's any malt funk to it at all. Although I do get fruit notes too out of the crazy peated stuff. As I said, I think I'm lucky in that regard where my palate is not refined, but that means I can take a hit from some of the crazier stuff. I've been wondering about why I like spicy food so much. It's probably because it doesn't affect me half as much as it should. I have spicy hot sauce on my eggs, so I haven't got one from what the heck is it? Wow, I totally forgot. Spicy Wings channel interviews. Hot ones. There we go. Ooh. I got the middle one. I forget what it's called now. But it's actually really tasty. As many interviewees have said when they've been doing that. As they get to that middle hot ones category and they try it and they're like, oh, this is pretty good. It's like, yes, it is. It does taste good. It is spicy though. Get your nose working and your eyes get a little watery. But I can only imagine what some of the other ones of those taste like. The one that I'm afraid of, that I think most of you who have ever watched that channel are afraid of, is of course the bomb. Da bomb, sorry. I don't ever want to taste that one. That one looks awful. Just looks awful. And every single person that interviewed gets to that, I always feel bad for them, knowing how bad it tastes, probably. So, that's something else I was thinking about. I think it was something like that. I have it in the fridge. Let me go. Although I know you're not supposed to get off the camera. I do everything you're not supposed to do on a stream. But I'm going to grab the hot sauce so I can remember what the hell it is. I think it's something caliente. Caliente? Yeah. Ah. So I'm not a liar. It's one from a little while ago. Los Calientes. Focus. There we go. From the hot ones. It looks like that. Doesn't look very appetizing, but it tastes pretty good. Put it back. I need to have more hot sauces. I have that, and I have what's the other one? I think this is C. There's another one I really like the taste of, but I'm forgetting the name. Has a lady on the front of it. It begins with C. I haven't had it in a while. But that one's good as well. Oh, that's going to bother me until I remember. Have I mentioned I have a bad memory? I have a bad memory. If I repeat myself, you know why. I went to finish profile. Why did I go to finish? The flavor looks the same. I've yet to nail down nutty on anything that I drank. Cholula, that's it. Oh, gosh. I'm awake now. Cholula. Thank you, Stanley. That is the other one I like. Just the regular one. I think I tried the green one once and I didn't like it. I don't remember why. I just didn't. It was not my jam. Cholula. Yeah, that stuff's lovely. I don't know why I like it, because it's just another spicy hot sauce, technically, but it's good. I like. I drink again. Ah. Huh. I'm looking at the app here, and it's showing me weird stuff. Kentucky Straight Bourbon. Why doesn't it say bottled and bond? That's important. The bottled and bond part is the harder part to get, from what I understand. If I'm even remembering what bottled and bond means, which I think is 4 years, and straight is 2 years. These are things I should remember, but I don't. All in all, I'm happy to be done with this bottle. I've had it for far too long, and it got buried in my bourbon spot. The other ones, I have 2 others I need to finish. Not tonight. That would be dangerous. Is my larceny one needs to die. And at some point, I need to finish this thing off. But I want this to last forever. Because once it's gone, it's gone. Unless I can get another bottle from the store, which I don't even know if they have. But now I'm going to check because I'm curious. And I'm also easily distracted, if you haven't noticed that. Bad memory, easily distracted. It's glorious. Welcome to the world of, what is it? Actually ADHD. I mean, I know ADHD whiskey probably also has ADHD, or else he wouldn't say that. But yeah, I live with it too. It's interesting. You never, well, no, sometimes you are bored. You're easily distracted. I don't know how he's able to focus on whiskey the way he is, unless he's hyper-focusing, which is a thing. 1792. I'm fairly certain there are plenty of us in the whiskey world who have some kind of interesting quirk. Mine just happens to have some really shitty parts to it. Because it's not just ADHD, it's a number of other things, as I've mentioned in a few videos. I don't know if I've said anything during the Advent calendar, but I think most people who watch my channel are aware that I struggle with having mental illness, which is, you know, great. It's a fun roller coaster ride of madness. I do like the old tub. It's not exactly what I like, and I think part of that is just because it's been in the bottle for a while. And I had Evan Williams Bottle and Bond is probably one of my go-tos right now, just because. Oh, John, come on, thank you. Didn't have to do that. That'll be nice if they contact me. I'm like, yes. I don't know if they will, but I might have to buy myself one just to try it. But again, I don't know what the heck I could buy off of that list. That's quite an extensive list they have. But yes, Stanley, who distracted? Yes. Evan Williams Bottle Bond is usually one of my go-to. I go between that and Wild Turkey all the time, or at least this past year, if nothing else. So it's good, but there is something about the Bottle and Bond, the Evan Williams Bottle and Bond, I don't like as much as Wild Turkey. I have a preference for Wild Turkey. I still haven't narrowed down exactly why, other than for the price, it is pretty good. But also, Evan Williams' Bottle and Bond is pretty damn good for what it is. But there is something about it that is reminding me, as you said, of the something I'm getting in Old Tub as well. I have yet to figure out what it is, though. It's a word, but I don't know what word it is. And I'm looking at the profile on the Whizzky app, trying to figure that out as well. I'm not getting it. It's not as prominent now, whatever it was. I kind of want to say walnut, if that makes any sense, because there's something about walnuts I don't like. I can't explain it other than probably if I were to say there's some kind of waxiness or some kind of, there's something weird about it. I have yet to be able to pinpoint these things. And as it says on the nose profile, it's got walnuts in here, as someone had walnuts on the smell. I don't think I'm smelling walnuts, but it could also be almonds. But I kind of dig almonds. I like chocolate-covered almonds. Someone said rye, and I can almost get rye on the smell. Almost. Because rye, to me, is just black licorice. Or, what's the other one? I'm forgetting now. I forget the word because I don't smell it very often as something normally. Oh, yes, I do. I can't remember the word. Eucalyptus. There we go. That was fun. That was an adventure. Gah. Woof. Cereal, hazelnuts, oak, definitely. I'm going to have to go over some of these things someday. That's why I need some kind of tasting / nosing kit of some sort. There we go. I could do that. I'll have to do that because the only one I have left that I think you sent is the Blanton's one. But I do have plenty of special samples that I got from JJ as well. Like I think this is Weller single barrel. And then we have, I think this is a Blanton's too. This is the Weller 12 year. And then I have the Elijah Craig Barrel Proof B520, which is very high proof. 127, which is another one where I feel like it's been put on a pedestal, which isn't a bad thing. It's just, for whatever reason, with whiskey, and I think most of you can relate to this, is when something is hyped or at least talked up a good deal, you get hesitant about trying it because you don't want to not like it. So, and that's kind of the bad thing about special bottles. Like you buy something that's really expensive and it's been talked up by a lot of people. I've done this on 2 occasions that I can think of. Both times they were Irish, oddly enough. Oh, Blackfly, hello. Seen you creeping around. Welcome to the show, or the hangout, or the Drinkstream, or whatever you want to call it. The reason to start drinking early. I lost my train of thought. I was talking about Irish prices, hyping stuff up. There we go. I've had that happen with 2 Irish whiskeys, and that was the Red Spot, which was $125, which is probably the most I've spent on a bottle so far. And by spent, I mean used a credit card, which is a terrible idea. Don't do that. And what else? The Redbreast 15, which I did like, but because I had paid so much for it at the time, which I think was $80, maybe. And that's a lot to me. I don't know if it's a lot to other people. But that was one that I liked, but I didn't like it any more or any less than the 12. Like, I didn't like it any more than the 12. I really like the 12, Red Rest 12, and especially Red Rest 12 cast strength. As we talked about briefly last week when I did a comparison about those whiskeys. And we also found out that freaking Irish whiskey can do some crazy things as soon as it gets older and it's been in a barrel for a while. Whoa. Yes. That is kind of my ballpark. Is if it costs more than $60, I don't know why. I don't have the funds to do it. One, unless someone buys the bottle, like this one. Which again, as I was talking about, this has gotten talked up a little bit, and I'm nervous about trying it now. But this can easily go for $88 in some places. I don't even know if I've looked at the bottle yet. So let's take the bottle out and take a look at it. Why not? It's got the. That's on the bottle. They actually did something to the bottle to get that. Campbelltown fine whiskey. Nova Scotia 15 year. Rich and smooth. Ooh. They're using all the fancy words. But yeah. This is one I'm already nervous about because of the cost of it. And I've been told by others that it's really good. So part of me is like, oh, I bet it's really good. Another part of me that is the constant downer is just like, oh, you're not going to like it. It's a scotch. Blah. And there's also the fact that I'm not even sure if I've had Campbelltown. I might have. But now I don't know. I think I have. I just don't remember when or what. I think for most of the advent calendar that I've done, it's been Speyside and Highlands. And that's about it, I think. But again, I don't remember because memory's bad. And that's part of why I record everything. So I can look back someday and be like, ah, yes, I had that once. It was good. Or it was bad. Like with today's episode where I had Glenlivet Founders, which I actually have a bottle of. And there's nothing really horrible about it, but it's just not up to speed for at least the scotches I seem to prefer. I felt kind of bad saying that, as I'm starting to have a Speyside scotch preference. And the Founders Reserve is just, no. As far as the blend goes, at least, I think it's a single malt actually, but yeah. But for what it is, I didn't really like it that much. For whatever reason. I think I said in the video. So if you want it available today, what I'm going to do tomorrow is still up for grabs at the moment. I do have a lot of minis that I think I've done mostly before. Like a Jim Beam, Jameson, and Evan Williams Black, which I've certainly done already in a video, where I think I just drank the whole thing at first to make it funny. And then I just drank the really big bottle, which I have still. Because, now that I think about it, and since we have Evan Williams, I wish I could figure out what that thread of something is. Or I wish I could find a word for what I'm smelling. And I still think walnuts or a waxiness or something like that makes the most sense. But it could just be like the alcohol smell, which I figure I'd be over by now, but I guess I'm not. Bondar, thank you for being here. Yeah, my stream is definitely more of a hangout stream because unlike other channels, this is very, I'll say amateur. Most of the other streamers are very professional and they do a lot to get to where they are. But for me, because of my mental health problems, I'm doing this on purpose so I can just do something and at least get myself out there. Because there was part of me that just did not want to do a stream at all, but I know it's something I like doing. Yeah. It's not great. I'll have to look up the I wonder if I kept it. I don't think I did. Hang on. I have no idea where I could have put that. But last year, when I did get the actual Founders Reserve bottle, which is hiding out back here, it came with some bitters or some kind of recipe specifically for a mixed thing, but it's not great. Oh. Habanero? Habanero? That's a fun word to say. I'm trying to remember which one was the Highland that I had. It must have been one of the Compass box, supposedly. I'm looking at the box. Because Compass box, I think I liked everything they did, which is unsurprising because, again, this is something that's been talked up a great deal. And unfortunately, it's one of the ones I botched up the video. That was fun. But the spice tree, I really enjoyed. And I did the whole video of it, and then I forgot to hit record. So no one will ever know except me how much I liked it. But it was very spicy. And this says it all right here. Dried fruits, notes of baking spice, accent of toasty oak, aged in custom casks. So I figure one of these must have been a Highland blend of some sort. But they were all lovely. I almost wanted to keep the mini bottles because they have those nice pictures on them, but I didn't. I try. The self-deprecation has been going on as long as I remember, at least up until it was probably high school when it all started. Teenage years, hormones, all that stuff. And it hasn't gotten any better this year. It's gotten a little worse. But this long hair thing is not helping. I'm over it. I need to get a haircut, but it seems like every time I'm about to do so, there's the another lockdown or another don't go anywhere. And right now we're still in the later part of the 3-week, what I think it's 3 weeks now, pause in Rhode Island, where we're just not supposed to go anywhere if we're not supposed to, if we don't have to, which is easy for me because I don't have a job. And I actually can't imagine. I can imagine, but I don't want to, what it's like for people who have to go to work in public places right now. That sounds terrifying. I mean, it's the easiest way for me to describe what my anxiety about public places is. It's just, you know how you feel right now when you have to go somewhere during a pandemic? Yeah, it's like that always. Hey, Kerber, welcome. Welcome. We're all here drinking stuff. We just finished off a bottle of Old Tub. We did a bottle down ceremony. It was glorious. I can only hope I don't get flagged. Pretty sure I'm not gonna, because that's, I don't think they can copyright strike that. Good luck trying, basically. I'm doing the thing Rex does by accident. It's like every time I take a sip of it, because it's weird. I guess it's an oak thing or something. There's this immediate dryness and just a little bit of spice, but ugh. There's something about it I'm not liking, and I don't know why. I'm going to assume it's because I tend to like a sweeter type of bourbon, and this one specifically seems to have more wood-forward notes, and possibly that walnut thing that I just don't like walnuts that much. And I can tolerate almonds, but even then, there's something about it. I'm pretty sure I like nutmeg, though. I know when I get, trying to think, one of my favorite drinks at Starbucks, oddly enough. It only comes out around this time of year. And unfortunately, is iced. Is the was it the Irish cold brew thing that they do? It's good, and it has a little bit of nutmeg on top, I think. I might do that tomorrow. I might not. I'm undecided. It's the last one I have from you, so that's it's one of those when I could do it tomorrow. But tomorrow is not going to be much of a happy episode because, as I alluded to in today's episode, things about tomorrow are lingering in my mind right now. It's part of why I feel the way I do, is because it's going to be a year to the day that I had euthanized my pet cat Max officially tomorrow. That's sitting on my head pretty hard at the moment. To be clear, it's been sitting on my mind for most of this year because this is the first year where I just have not had a cat, and it doesn't feel good. I'm kind of minorly relieved that I didn't have to take care of anything else right now, but for me, it's just, I mean, this year has been in every single way, just No. I've had pumpkin spice lattes. They're okay, but what I prefer is the cold brew Irish cream and thing they do. I just wish it wasn't cold because I feel like an idiot when it's snowing and 30 degrees out, and I'm like, I want a cold brew. Thank you. But I like it. It's one of the few things I can say I like. I'm gonna go check the. I'll do the Google and see exactly what's on it. I think they put like a dash of nutmeg on it, but my brain's freaking out. And to be clear, the other problem is right now that I have to actually go to Starbucks, and I don't want to go anywhere. To be clear, it is a. I didn't want to go places during normal times. It hasn't improved with 2020. It's gotten worse. Everything and more you ever wanted in a sippable, dreamy holiday drink. Starbucks cold brew is swirled with Irish cream syrup and then topped with a cloud of vanilla sweet cream, cloud foam, and a hint of cocoa. So it's cocoa. What did I have recently that had hazelnut on it? I think. Oh, I know what it was. It was a eggnog latte. I know lots of you love eggnog. This is sarcasm. But I had an eggnog latte a week ago. Because that, again, is one of the things I can get only at this time of year. And it had nutmeg on it, which was nice. But I definitely seem to like rich and creamy things, apparently. And this, I'm just getting a lot of oak and wood and dry and a little bit of peppery stuff. Or spicy stuff. And it drinks hot. Like every sip. I feel it. I know it's 50%. Where with a lot of stuff like Wild Turkey 101, I don't even know. But I also have that on ice a lot. Just because it's easier to sip for me like that. And I could add ice to this. I probably would normally. That would change it up a bit. Probably get rid of that weird tinge of waxiness that I'm getting. Or alcohol or whatever it is. Because I don't know. Yeah. Coming on the 1 hour mark, so that's good. I just have to figure out what I want to do for the next hour. The one good thing about whiskey is that you can sip it for a long time. Unlike beer and other things like that, where people feel like they have to chug that stuff and then they're in the restroom, 10 times a night. It's one of the things I always think about when I think about my early days of drinking is the type of drinking we were doing. It was one, binging hard liquor. Don't do that. Bad idea. Or just drinking copious amounts of liquid quickly. I specifically went for really sweet stuff for a while. I had a thing for twisted teas. You ever had those? So there was a lot of tea back in the day, and that was very sugary drinks, and they were all like 5%. So you drink 2 or 3 of those, and you're feeling good, especially if you drank them quickly. And nowadays, we got the 100 proof stuff, and we're fine as long as we drink it slowly. If you don't drink it slowly, you're asking for hurt. But I think I'm at that age where I try to be careful because I don't want to wake feeling worse tomorrow. I already feel pretty bad most of the time. I don't need anything else to help with that. I do have my little empty bottle collection up there. I was sad to hear, I think it was in today's episode for Whiskey Tribe, where Daniel couldn't find any more lore, at least not in his area. Because Lefroy Lore was one of the first expensive whiskeys I got for my dad, and it was really good. I think it's a similar thing I can think of as the Ugdal, just in it being a peated thing that isn't as aggressive, I guess. But it was softer, I guess, is the way to put it. But I don't know the last time I saw lore anywhere at all. I've seen grooves, and I've seen a couple other things. I think that was Ardbeg grooves. Yeah. But Lefroy special things, I think the only thing I see these days is Cardaeus, maybe. And I've had a bunch of those, and they're good. But they're also expensive. And a lot of the time, it's just a softer kind of Lefroy. I feel lucky that I've actually done Lefroy tastings before. But could I tell the difference between them? Barely. Uh-oh. They're holding it hostage. No. That'd be awful if that was a thing they did. Good grief. Which reminds me, I was tracking a package. It's not going to be here till Tuesday, mind you, but you know. I have to try to remember who bought me a raffle ticket, because I don't know what they put. I don't think my phone number's on there. Pretty sure it isn't. What's on the drinks? That's true. I should have asked that earlier. What is everyone else drinking? I think we have a few people having scotch and a few having bourbons. Lovely stuff. Oh, good stuff. I had one of those. Was it a year ago? Probably. Last year was a whole different time. That was a lifetime ago at this point. But I think I did a Wild Turkey Forgiven episode dedicated to its bourbon night and their marriage, I think. Because I know I have to blame those two for me getting into Wild Turkey. I think they started me down that slope just before Whiskey Tribe started saying that stuff. No, I'm sure it isn't. That's part of why I'm hesitant to do anything. Is because their website is not the best. It's okay for looking stuff up, but as far as doing anything fancy, it's a little sketch. And again, I don't even know what I'd be able to afford. Although I have gotten donations. I got donations, was it last week or the week before? That's why I have that scotch bottle. There was a donation that was given to me through PayPal. Link below, and it's also doing the scrolly thing here. But that is the easiest way for me to review stuff, and it's the easiest way for people who watch the channel to get me something, is to either go directly through PayPal and say, hey, this is for this bottle. Hopefully I can find it. Or just, as we were talking about, doing the Cappy's website, getting in touch with me via email or Instagram or whatever is easiest for you, Twitter even, good God. And I can get a bottle directly from Cappy's. Then you don't have to mail it, because that's hard to do. I know it's done. The Whiskey Vault certainly has proven that, but technically it's not supposed to be done, so I don't encourage it. There are other ways around it. And Cappy's has a number of whiskeys I've ever had. They actually have pretty extensive bourbon section and a pretty extensive Scotch section. It's like a whole aisle is just, bourbon and Scotch. It's ridiculous. I'm going to look at the ticket thing. That's weird. It's a weird setup. There's some Wild Turkey Rare Breed, if I'm reading that correctly. That's amore. I don't know why it stuck in my head all of a sudden. I need to finish this and pour something else, I think. Hachimachi. No. I was afraid of that. I just checked to see if they had any more 1792. I just want to say 1776 or something like that. Oof. Like, this is one I haven't seen. That's only made me curious. What the hell is this? It looks like rum. Puncher's Chance Bourbon. Why does it look like a rum bottle? Is my question. Have any one of you heard of Puncher's Chance Bourbon? Because I have no idea what this is. It says it's from Kentucky. Danville, wherever that is. But I've never heard of it before in my life, and it looks like it should be a Captain Morgan rum bottle. That's a bit weird. It's a private barrel, too, which is why it's $45. No bueno. And then they have a Glenmorangie private select. But the 1792 is gone. Unsurprisingly, because that's real good. And that one is a rum. Bloop. Look at the whiskeys they have. One they've been talking up a lot at this store is Cooper's Mark. I think it's Cooper's Mark. And Jeffers Creek. God. A Wilderness Trail? I've never been to Kentucky. At least I don't remember if I've been to Kentucky, let's say. I went cross country with my parents when I was just a lad, a young boy, and I got to see a lot of places in the country, but nothing that I remember like that, because I wasn't going to distilleries. That explains it. I still don't know why it looks like a freaking rum bottle. It literally looks like one I've seen that Captain Morgan did, where it was just this black round thing. I think it was Cannonball or something like that. Doesn't look exactly like it, but it's very similar, and it makes me think of rum when I look at it instead of whiskey. So it's a bit bizarre. It's freaking me out a little. Wheel Horse I've had. That's pretty good. I can't believe. So Stanley here sent me some Whistle Pig samples, and they were glorious. All of them were really good. But I don't understand how Whistle Pig got so expensive so quickly, especially when my understanding is that some of the stuff they have is from Canada, supposedly. But I'm looking at the website for Cappies, and they have a special bottle, $240 for Whistle Pig 15-year private single barrel. Why? Whistle Pig is good. I can certainly say I like it, but I certainly don't like the price because every time I looked up the prices of it, it was obscene. And they're still relatively new as far as distilleries go in Vermont. That's actually someplace I can visit during normal times or less than bad times. Less than, as long as there's not a pandemic going on, I can go there. but the prices on their stuff is obscene. It's a rye whiskey. It's good, but it's not hundreds of dollars good in my brain. Oh yeah, there's another kind of peanut butter whiskey. Why is that a thing? There you go. Yeah, I was surprised those exist. I had never heard of a mini Blanton's bottle before. That was new. You'd think there'd be more of those because then people could actually try it, and then they could find out that Blanton's is, as I've heard, it's a good bourbon, but not to pay more than retail, I think is the rumor that I've heard. As someone who doesn't buy expensive stuff, it doesn't matter. I see Blanton's on the shelf. It's like, oh, that's $100 for that bottle. Nope. Or that's $60 for that bottle. Nope. Doesn't matter how it's, if it's less than $40, I'm keen. But even then, I shouldn't spend that much money. But I'm looking at all these things I've tried before that I like, such as Angel's Envy is pretty good to me. I haven't had the ryes that they do. I've had some of the finished stuff. They have some Ardbegs over at the store. Like one of the Ardbegs. There's another trip up here. Is we're looking at prices at a store and different kind of releases at the moment for those of you just tuning in, if there are any of you. But I'm looking at their Ardbeg selection, and we have the Ardbeg Ugdal, which I like, and I have some right over there. That is $70. That was a lot. Again, used a credit card. Don't do that. But we also have their general selection, which is the Ardbeg 10-year. That's $50, more than I would pay for anything, really. And then they have the Ardbeg Wee Beastie, which is 5 years. 5 for $45. So between the 5-year and the 10-year of Ardbeg, there's a $5 difference. And I would certainly say you probably go with the Ardbeg 10, because that's 5 more years for $5. I've heard mixed results with the Wee Beastie. I haven't had it. It's one of the ones I haven't touched because, again, this whole top part is all Scotch. I don't drink Scotch as often as I think I do. Oh, there you go. It's nice to be able to get Blanton's, I hear. What? $800 for an Ardbeg? Ooh. It doesn't surprise me. Ardbeg's been putting a lot of stuff out the past couple of years. At least as far as I've been into whiskey, Ardbeg has been throwing things out there fairly regularly. Then we have Blackened here, which is something I've wanted to try, but I'm not going to pay $49 for it. So there's that. I've heard mixed results of Basil Hayden. Basil? We have Black Velvet, which I do have some of. There's one thing I did want to do for tomorrow to bring up a painful memory once more is after I had to make the decision with my cat. My mother was with me, and we went to a restaurant / whiskey place nearby. And I remember exactly what I ordered, but I have no idea how it tastes. And my whole, my mindset at that time was not good. But I ordered a Kathleen's Batch Booker's. So that's kind of on my wish list at the moment, just as something to have once a year as memory. I'm not going to be able to do it this year, and I feel bad about it. Oh, the Dalmore 12? Not recently. I remember I didn't really like it. I have a feeling it's because it probably has that weird walnut taste, or it's just the malt funk thing that I didn't like. That's a little too prevalent. But someday, I want to get my hands on a Kathleen's Booker's. But whenever I see the prices for Booker's, it's a little ridiculous. The one at Cappy's is $87.99 and it doesn't even have a name. It just says Booker's. Booker's Bourbon. It's $87.99. And then it has some tasting notes. It doesn't tell me the name. There's a name. Tell me the name. Yeah, Stanley. So far, I've found that the two of the main brands that are available. So we have Dalmore and we have Macallan. And the Macallan, I think it's a 10. Hold on. Sorry, 12. Macallan 12 and the Dalmore 12. For whatever reason, I don't like them. I bought a whole bottle. And I'm just like, nah. I did not like the taste for some reason. And I have a feeling a lot of it's just because it was early in my whiskey journey and is a malt funk. But I got that Macallan from my father. He donated the bottle. And again, there's something about it. It's hard for me to put a finger on. But other than that malt funk, I think my guess is that it's just a malty thing. Like if it's just straight malt and there's no fruit notes or anything, I probably won't like it as much or something. Again, I haven't reviewed them in a long time. And when I reviewed them, I don't even remember. But I just recall they weren't up to my taste. Kind of like this one. This is the, I like Johnny Walker for the most part, but the Johnny Walker, you'll note this is very full. Johnny Walker Blender's Batch Wine Cask Blend is not good. Do not like. So when I started exploring other scotches that weren't specifically peated stuff, some of them were just off-putting in the wrong way. And so far, at least there's a number of bottles back there that I'm just like, nah. Don't really like them as a normal pour. There you go. It's not even that old. It's last year, as far as I understand it. But that was the kind of regrets and remorse pour that I had for my cat immediately after I had to make that unbearable decision for him because he was too sick and he was suffering. So not a great feeling. That's still sitting in my head for tomorrow. And that's why I'm trying to debate, what to pour. And the idea was officially that I was going to go to the same restaurant, order the same drink. I don't even remember what I ate. I think I ordered food, but I don't remember what. And I don't think I ate much of it. I had maybe 2 bites. After something that tragic, everything shuts down. And I already have plenty of depression problems. But that day, it's like my whole world just broke. Unpleasant. Extremely unpleasant. I know plenty of people have lost pets and family and such, but there is a distinct difference between how it feels for one person and how it feels for another, and there's never a solid way that sort of hurt can be shared or interpreted easily through words or through song or that can be done, and but it's that moment in my life right now was just bad, and it did, that's how that's 2019 ending for me, and then 2020 beginning in the way it didn't help any of my problems. I'm still unemployed and suffering from crippling depression all the time. Thankfully, my drinking is under control, but this year has not been helpful. This was supposed to be the year that I worked on finding work and getting a better hold on my mental health, but no. It is. I mean, that's the bottom line, as they say. You don't want your pet to suffer. I think so. I just remember it was called Kathleen's Batch because to add on top of that horror, talking hurts. We had to add, excuse me. My voice is dying. To add on top of the horror of my having to do that to my pet, Kathleen in my head, I just, because I was in that headspace of just grief and loss, when I saw Kathleen's Batch, it made me think of the word Kate instead. I don't know if that's actually short for Kathleen or not, but my voice instructor who had died a few years before, her name was Kate. And I was sitting there looking through this variety of different whiskeys they had there, trying to pick anything, because I can't even describe the kind of headspace I was in at the moment, in that moment. But, I saw that and there was blah. Where's Copeland? Welcome. We're just chatting, talking about life and death. Ooh. Steaks. I need a steak in my life. I just need freaking something. Again, I haven't eaten much today. That's why I'm being very careful with the drink I have. I lost my train of thought. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I took the word Kathleen, twisted it to the word Kate, which made me think of my voice instructor who had died a few years ago. That's probably 3 or 4 years ago now, which is awful. And since I was in that headspace of my pet having been put down tragically, I took that, put it on that whiskey, and was like, oh, I'm kind of doing 2 memories at once here, is by taking Kathleen's batch Bookers to remember my friend Kate, friend and mentor Kate, and also the loss of my pet. Mixing the grief together there. But I could not tell you how that whiskey tasted, because it seems like ever since then my palate has been weird and wonky and hard to manage. But yeah, the idea was I was going to go there tomorrow, but I'm fairly certain they're not even open right now. The place I went was near the city. I'm going to double check. Everything is kind of shut down right now. Like I said, there's a pause going on. I want a steak now. Oh, they do have dine-in. But I don't think I can sit at the bar. That's the trick. I miss doing that. I wasn't at the bar at the time because, like I said, my mother was with me when I had to do all that horror. But yeah, so a lot of me is just thinking about the fact that 1 year ago today, on the 18th of December, I had no idea what I was in for on the 19th. Like the next day, I had no idea what kind of horror awaited me and what kind of tragic memory was going to be forever engraved into my mind. Because the one thing I didn't say is that the reason this hurts so much and why it's still something that sits in my mind is that he was like the first cat I had to take care of for his whole life. He was 18 years old at the time. He had gotten through diabetes, but it was kidney failure, kidney disease, I think, that was doing him in. So sucked a lot. But that is just one of the things about being a pet owner that is that kind of rough part at the end, because we always outlast the pets we love, unfortunately, it seems. I'll keep that in mind. I mean, there is the hope that within the next year or two, I will be able to get to Texas again. When I went there, I didn't have any steak, but I did go to someplace. Oh, again. Yeah, it was. Whoa. For days. I did go to, whatchamacallit, the place that's just down the street from the Whiskey Vault. I can't remember the name now. So I had barbecue at least. Yes. Weird, wonky, and hard to manage. That's 2020 in a nutshell. Salt Lick. That's right. Salt Lick. I went there and I had a lot of food. That was really good. That was one of the first things I did when we got to Texas. Is we pretty much landed, got to the. I wanted to call it a hotel, but it's a freaking. What's the name of that place that everyone goes to? La Quinta? No, I'm thinking. What am I thinking of? really shady kind of hotel place, but also somehow awesome. We went to one of those. We stayed there. We dropped off our stuff, and then we went immediately to Salt Lake because we hadn't really eaten much for that whole flight. It is La Quinta. Okay. Double verified, La Quinta. There's one in, I guess it must have been downtown Austin. I have a feeling that the Bastards Ball people went to another one somewhere else, officially. But yeah, we stayed at one of those places, and it was kind of sketch. It was nice enough with the kind of little deal, the community room they have. That's kind of neat, but also feels a little weird. But I had breakfast in the morning, so that was cool. But yeah, we dropped off our stuff, then went immediately to Salt Lake, and we had a bunch of good food. I don't remember exactly what I got, but I remember I took pictures of it. And good God, that pit they have there, holy smokes. That fire pit is amazing. That's something right out of a storybook when you think of grilling and barbecue. It's that picturesque kind of moment. I wish I could have a place like that around here, but we do have a decent barbecue place. I say that hesitantly because I'm in New England and Rhode Island, and anyone who likes barbecue and Texas stuff and that kind of thing are going to be skeptical. But the person who came and made that barbecue place was from the South. So there's that. She officially was from down there and brought her amazing food up here. And we're talking tiny mom and pop shop, but amazing brisket. And I always like their pork. It's really good. Oh, yeah. I know we weren't far from most of the distilleries. I think that's the only reason I hit 7 of them was because of where we were located. We were in downtown Austin, almost like right on the cusp, wherever that La Quinta is. But it was right on the highway, pretty much. It was right there, so we could get anywhere we needed to go easily. And I seem to remember I visited a number of distilleries in a very short amount of time. And that's all we did other than, eating food at places occasionally. I'm trying to remember. I really liked, unsurprisingly, since I had their glass right now, Andalusia was really good. I liked the whiskey they had there. They had some peated stuff that was cool. And they had one that was, I think it was a single pot still or something like that. It was very similar to Irish. It was really good. So I hope to get back there again someday at least. And they're right across from, no. Who's right across from the other place? There are 2 places that are near each other. Milam and Green there's 2 distilleries that are almost right across from each other. It's ridiculous. But Milam and Green was nice, but it's really tiny. That's what I remember distinctly about it. While some of the other places were ginormous, like where? I'm making myself hungry, man. I haven't eaten today, really. I had a muffin. That's the dream, man. I mean, one thing I keep telling myself this entire year is that I am distinctly fortunate that I was able to actually get to Texas last year and at least get to 7 of the distilleries and be able to also visit Crowded Barrel / Whiskey Vault when I did, because no one had any idea that everything was just going to go right off the rails this year like it did. But that's just how it is, and everything is just going to be a moving forward kind of thing at the moment. Hopefully with the vaccine coming out, things will improve before, autumn of next year. I really don't know. I don't have any expectations right now because things have just gone so wild over the past year. Like the fact that a year has passed already, and it felt like the quickest, longest year ever for me, because there were times when the end of this year seemed like an eternity away. And again, I don't know how I got through it other than, having Whiskey Vault videos to watch and being able to do my own thing. Having so many streams to watch every single week has helped a good deal. Having other streamers just popping up too. I mean, it's like Trev, Whiskey Central, and Hot Buttery Rolls are 3 that have come up this year that I've gotten interested in. And they're doing stuff that, Trev's doing more what I want to do, where it's just hanging out and drink whiskey. But Whiskey Central is doing the stuff I wish I could do with the research and the enthusiasm and, that kind of thing, where it's just, as soon as I start thinking about doing research and getting more complicated, my brain's like, no, go to sleep, shut everything down. Well, that'll be good. I mean, right now, it's just a waiting game. That's just what I'm telling myself. It's just getting through at this point. And I have to remind myself how fortunate I am with the amount of whiskey I have. I'm not going to run out anytime soon. And the relative safety I seem to have since I don't go out and I don't have a job. But, yeah. I keep telling him to give me whiskey. He hasn't done it yet. I'm waiting. I don't really have money to blow on raffles and such. So that's why I've been fortunate that many of you have also sent me samples and stuff. But again, I have that weird hesitancy. Once I get something, I want to, it's a thing. You want to keep it. It's your precious suddenly. Wow. There we go. Stanley's got more than enough whiskey. I still tell myself I shouldn't have more than 40 bottles, but I'm pretty sure that I've broken that already. And that's part of why I'm trying to do a bottle kill every once in a while, like officially. But a lot of the times, thankfully not tonight, but there are plenty of these I look at. I'm like, oh yeah, I could finish that. Like this one. Part of me is like, oh yeah, I could finish that. That is probably 6 ounces-ish. Hard to tell. But I have a feeling that would knock me on my socks, out of my socks. Off my socks? I would be regretting things tomorrow if I tried to drink all of that. Even if it's just 40%. But I've had this Bushmills forever, too. So that's another problem. The funny thing is I bought I think it was a Bushmills Red. And that didn't last. Like I drank all of that. But for whatever reason, I keep forgetting I have the regular Bushmills. And then I have at least 1, 2, 3, 4 in open bottles. So I'll be able to do that for, the next 4 weeks into January, I suppose, if I want to do that. But I'm convinced I'm going to start doing samples. Because I can't do, and I feel like I'm doing injustice to the samples if I just do them on stream. But I know that's the thing. I know, I think Whiskey Dick was doing that, but he had a round table, like a whole thing full of samples, and I don't want that to happen. I want to get through my samples when I can. Speaking of getting through samples, I almost forgot. We got less than 30 minutes left, so I better finish this. Wow. I don't remember this burning as much on the way down for every sip. I don't have that problem usually with, I don't want to call it a problem. It's probably because I'm taking such a long time in between sips. My body gets unadjusted to the alcohol and goes, wow, what are you doing? Hi. Oh, what's up? Also, season's greetings to all of you. Yes, that is salt and pepper because seasons. It's humor. It's funny. Don't deny it. Whoa. Gotcha. I gotta remember there's there is some kind of, whatever you call it, GERD or something like that, problem that runs in my family. So I'm always uncomfortably conscious of that when drinking alcohol. I'm pretty sure I'm the one with the least amount of problem. It's still stingy on the way down for some of these. And again, I wonder about how, for whatever reason, in American culture, taking shots, it's larger than American culture, but in the general drinking thing in America, and at least in many other countries, I'm certain, taking shots of stuff is the norm. It feels like the worst way to drink that kind of stuff because of how all the burn goes through here rather than in your mouth. It's I can only wonder why it was a thing. Maybe it's because early on whiskey didn't taste as good, and there wasn't as much detail and time and effort spent into it. I mean, whiskey history has its own thing, about spiked barrels and such, and prohibition and that kind of thing. There's a bunch of history about whiskey that says it probably didn't taste too great because there was a lot of shady shit going on, but now you'd think it's a little more better, but we also have the flavored stuff, which is gross so far that I've found. The sweetness level of those things is disgusting. And I will say now, since we're almost at the end, and it's not going to happen, hopefully, that if we hit the $50 goal, I will have a horrible, horrible drink. But that's within the next whatever minutes we got left here. 36. 1 hour and 36. So we got 25-ish, 24 minutes. I haven't decided which one I'll drink, but they're all in the freezer right now. And they're all gross. I promise. Maybe we have a honey and something else. That's partially why this thing's been going across the bottom too. And again, I can't do sample shout-outs. I might someday, but I'll feel bad. I don't really have fancy stuff or rare stuff. The only thing that people might want, if you can't get it, is this. And that's almost gone. That needs to die as well at some point. Eleanor, I don't want to do it. I don't want to pull the trigger. I just want to keep it forever and ever until I can get another one, which will be a year or so. I actually have 2 bottles waiting for me at the Crowded Barrel. I totally forgot about that. So there's that. The idea was I was going to pick them up this year at the Bastard's Ball. Didn't happen, clearly. I also don't remember what they were. So that's mildly problematic. I think one of them is the non-Scotch Scotch. Or the Scotch that's not a Scotch, whatever they're calling it. So I'm adding another Scotch to my collection, unintentionally. Well, intentionally, but from Texas. So it's not a Scotch. We'll see how that is. I've heard good things. I've heard mixed results. I'm trying to remember what the other one was. See, this is the problem with having mental issues, is there's that moment where you're like, what did I do? What did I get? When did I get that? How long ago was that? I don't remember. I really don't. I just remember that last year, I had 2 bottles to pick up from the Crowded Barrel, which I did. 2 Eleanors. They were both glorious. I finished one of them. I still have one left, almost. And I also know since then I bought 2 more, but I do not remember what they are because brain no worky so good. I'm going to have to email Emma. I don't want to, but at least to refresh my own memory as to what I got. Because again, I don't remember what, and I don't know when I'm going to get it. I like to think next year, but we'll see. There's a lot of stuff I wanted to do this year, to be honest. I wanted to go to Ireland. I wanted to go to Scotland. I wanted to go visit Texas again. I wanted to visit Kentucky. That was part of the plan, but didn't happen. The idea was I was going to go to Kentucky and meet Chad and Sarah. That would have been nice. Didn't happen. I did get my bottle from them, thankfully, because that was something I was planning on doing, but almost went right through the cracks, pretty much. And I'll show it again for those who haven't seen it. Ugh. This chair spins a little too easily. Knob Creek. No, show that. What does that say? Single barrel. A mash made in heaven. It's got a little note on the bottom for me. And right there it says, hope you can make it to Kentucky sometime soon. Someday. We'll see. No, I'm so terrified of holding this one in. Steady on. Yeah, lots of things I planned to do this year that just didn't happen. But I have a feeling that's the way it is for most people, so I don't worry about it too much. Again, we're too worried about keeping our own health is the main thing to do. Whoa. And good but spicy. And again, I still can't narrow down what that taste thing is. Habla. Habla habla. Oops. And now, since I need to bottle finish stuff, this is one of the samples that JJ gave me. This is a Redbreast 21. As you can see, it says R21. It's a crime that I'm committing here. However, they do that on the Whiskey Tribe all the time. Whiskey Vault. They just clean out a glass right quick and then add whatever they're drinking. And as this is the bottle kill night, I'm trying to kill this thing because I will not do it. If I don't have an excuse to drink this, I will not do it, which is terrible. It's gonna be weird to taste this after having a high proof bourbon like that. And this is the one that was incredibly fruit forward, as I recall. Their official stuff about this. Redbreast is a rich, spicy, single pot still Irish whiskey matured exclusively in first fill, sherry, and bourbon casks. And this fantastic 21-year-old is no exception. A masterpiece of cask selection and blending. We absolutely love this older expression with its notes of tropical fruit, methanol, and a touch of leather alongside all the mouth-filling goodness you find right across the range. I didn't make that up. That was what they said right there. But here we go. Bottle kill number 2. Tiny bottle, but still bottle. The Redbreast 21. I feel bad doing this. I really do. And there it is. In the glass. No take back seas. There's no way I can put this back in here anyway. Man, imagine trying to do that. Pouring a Glencairn into a tiny thing like this. Or a bottle for that matter. Not a good idea. All right, here we go. Ooh. I don't know if it's because of what I had in there before, but it's got a musty note now. Or because it's been partially filled with air. Oh, gosh, I forgot how weird this thing smelled. Eee. The 21 is so bizarre for an Irish. I know I said the was it Glendula 13 Mizunara cask finish has a similar smell to me. But this is just bizarre. I'm looking directly at the notes. So I'm trying not to say them. I would agree with that leather smell too. They said it in their little mock-up there, but there's a leathery note. It's definitely got dried fruits to it. It's fruit forward, to say the least, which is bizarre because it's an Irish whiskey. I'm getting chocolate too, which is unexpected. Dizzy whiskey, as they say. A little bit of spice, like cinnamon or something. Baking spice, you know. Let's go for the official notes on here, community notes, because that's the easiest thing to do. And I'm looking right at them, as I said. Spicy, apple, caramel, sherried, which I still don't know what that means. Fresh fruit and dried fruits. Fruits galore, we'll say. Let's see what the flavor is. I've done this before. I did this last week. But good God, the Redbreast 21 is a whole different beast. Like from the 12, I wouldn't even believe it's the same thing. If someone gave me this and said, this is an Irish Redbreast, I would say, what are you talking about? This is a wine, basically. This is some bizarre wine that looks like whiskey. Wow. I think they say guava on this at some point. Now that's stuck in my head, but I don't even know if I've ever had a guava in my life. But it is fruity. It's a little spicy. There's a little bit of oak, I think. This is drying out my tongue a little at the end. It's really good, but it's really weird. That's kind of the bit. Redbreast 21. And to remind everyone of how I didn't want to pour this, it's because a average price paid for this bottle is around $230 for this tiny little bit of stuff. Well, the whole bottle technically, but I can only imagine if you are a lover of Redbreast 12, okay, just Redbreast 12, and you're like, oh man, Redbreast 12 is amazing. Let me try the Redbreast 21. You drop $230 on it and you get this. I'd be kind of pissed, to be honest, because it's nothing like any Irish I've had other than that Glendale 13 Mizunara finish, which is full fruit notes all over the place. And it's good, but it's not Redbreast 12 by any means. It's a whole different thing. Even the color looks slightly darker red, you know? There's like a tinge of it. A tinge, I tell you. But the taste of it's good, but it's just unbelievable that this is a freaking an Irish. Which welcome. Welcome to the last bit of the show. Yeah, we got about 15 minutes left. Usually I try to quit just before the other person goes on stream. I want to try to finish this Redbreast 21. It is amazing. To be clear, oh gosh, is that tobacco? What? That's nutty. That's not, it's unexpected. I didn't expect that. Maybe that's just a leathery note. Community flavor profile of this. Spicy, citric, sherried, apricot. Apricot, that's what it is. And peach. I would agree with the apricot note because that's nutty. Or that's unexpected out of an Irish whiskey to get something so fruit forward. And sherry is still something I'm trying to wrap my head around. I'll have to just have a sherry someday just to figure it out. But honestly, I imagine it just is a grapey thing, but I'm not getting that. The apricot note, yes. Secrets. When I was a kid, one way we would get apricot juice, you're going to like this, was to mix orange juice and apple juice together. So if you have kids and you want to mess with their heads, saying you're going to make apricot juice, just mix orange juice and apple juice together and call it apricot juice. It's good. At least as far as my memory is, it was good. Finish profile is a sweet, fresh fruit, spicy apple. Blah. Yes. And the official notes are much grandioser. Really? I still don't get peanuts on stuff. Like peanut and peanut butter are things I think I have pretty set in my head, but I've never gotten it off stuff as a smell. And this is saying for the official nose, excuse me, I'm drinking too quickly. Ouch. Tropical pineapple and crushed peanuts specifically, a bit like the combo you get on the outside of those soft cheese rings. Ugh. Rich, rounded, spicy, prunes, quinces, a little deeply caramelized apple. That's just on the nose. I don't know if I've ever had a soft cheese with a ring on it like that, but ugh. I can kind of understand what they mean. There's a little bit of funkiness to it. Oh, it's so completely different from anything I've ever had. It's not Scotch. It's not Irish. It's why I didn't want to finish it, because I've never had anything other than that other Irish, the Glendale 13 Mizunara cast finish, which is really good to me. And that costs a lot less, by the way. That costs about $80, I think. This is a menthol note. Leathery, I would agree. Touch of nectarine. Oh. It's like drinking a fruit smoothie. A very bizarre alcoholic fruit smoothie. I would say it's tangy. I don't know if I can get barley notes out of this, though. That's something else it says. Either way, the Redbreast 21 is something to experience, but I would say don't buy a bottle. Try it at a whiskey place if you can, because good grief. The price, I swear, is obscene. Checking the YouTubes to see what's going on. My watch just went off. That means it's 10 minutes of. Grief, look at all this other stuff that's going on. Holy schmoly, Friday nights are busy as far as streams go. Good Lord. Why don't I see it? God damn it. I assume Trev's going live in 10 minutes, but why don't I see it? Checking. I hope all of you are going to go there. Oh, there it is. I didn't. It looks like he is doing a blind Michter's flight. Maybe I'll do that next time. Well, not a blind Michter's flight, but next stream. I will be streaming again on Sunday. Again, 6 o'clock. If any of you want to show up. I may or may not do a flight because here's the thing. You find out really quickly how many whiskey Glencairns you have when you use one of them every single day. They start to get dirty very quickly. And that's a fun experience. And then you do a flight. Suddenly you've used 4 of them. Whoa. But it looks like Trev is going live at 8 p.m., which is in 9 minutes. I will see most of you there, if not all of you there. He'll probably do something that involves money. The only thing I can do is be like, please give me money. I haven't been able to figure out the idea of giving samples away or anything because, as I mentioned, I don't function very well on a daily basis, unlike other YouTube streamers and whiskey streamers who have day jobs and healthy relationships or unhealthy relationships even. I don't know. But, yeah. Unlike them, this is the only thing I have to worry about today other than having to make a video for tomorrow. And we'll see how that turns out. That should be fun. Usually is. I get to drink a whiskey. But as I said, tomorrow's going to be a pretty rough day overall in my head. Today is a rough day. I don't think I woke up until about. I woke up a couple times during the day, but I've been sleeping a lot. It's not good. Sleep is nice. At least I can sleep. Other people have problems doing that. I am fortunate that I can rest, but I also rest a bit too much. So I guess I'll leave it at 2 more minutes, not even. We'll leave it 5 of. We'll all head over to Trev's channel, and then probably over to ADHD, where they get lots of people and lots of money. That's the crazy part. I'm still trying to do that. But again, there's no easy way for me to ask for money because it feels like I'm begging. But I've got money before. The Jason Busey has shown up, and he's amazing. He just rolls in here and blows my mind with what he does. But not tonight. He's probably, again, I know he has a new job and stuff. And you don't want to rely on one person for anything, believe me. But someday I'm going to figure out a way to get, $5 super chats and stuff. But again, that requires me getting 1,000 people to subscribe, which is a whole other thing. Requires a lot of effort. Good to see you too, Richie. I'm glad you made it, even if it's just at the tail end. I mean, we had plenty of people roll through here, believe me. I don't talk for 2 hours just to nobody, so that's the good thing. And I tell myself all whiskey tubers start somewhere. So that's still what I'm doing, especially with lives. And as I said before, I'll be going live again on Sunday at 6. So that'll be a prelude to It's Bourbon Night, basically. It's a reason for me to get some whiskey in my system before that starts. He's a legend. I don't know what he does for a living, but I wish I had that kind of job because I'd be all set. I'd probably be really stressed out too, though, so that's a different thing. But even with all the new people who are doing well, like Trev Wilson, Whiskey Central, and Hot Butter Rolls, they're still struggling to get past 800 something to 1,000. So it's a hike. I'm getting there. Might get there someday, but I don't know how or when. I know the idea is more content and more people, but we're just over 200 and something now. We're working our way up to 300. When we get to 250, I'll do a thing, hopefully. But we'll see. I'll cut it here because we're at the 155 mark. Treb is going live soon. So as always, till next time, live long and prosper. Don't forget to be awesome. And yeah, sláinte. Boop.